Hello everyone, welcome to the Paramount Theatre, welcome to downtown Seattle, welcome to PAX, welcome to the World Championship. Rich Hagon, Brian David-Marshall here with you. BDM, what an adventure we have before us.
Yeah, absolutely. We have 24 of the best players in Magic assembled here. You mentioned the Paramount Theatre, the historic Paramount Theatre here in downtown Seattle, looking to make a piece of Magic history. Just the 5th time we've held this small field, just of the best players competing for the World Championship title. Someone's going to take home a lot of money. Someone's going to take home a piece of history.
They certainly are. Let's get you to the schedule and the formats up on our board behind us. Here we go, BDM. What do we start off with?
Well, you know what? We're going to start with Eldritch Moon Shadows over Innistrad booster draft. That's going to be 2 packs of Eldritch Moon, 1 pack of Shadows over Innistrad, and the players are going to do 3 rounds of that. I talked to Reed Duke, and he's like, you know, it's kind of scary. You have 24 of the best players in the world competing in a tournament, and after 3 rounds, 3 of them are going to be 0-3 at the draft table. They're the best drafters in the world, and it's going to be a pretty exciting, hazardous waters for them to navigate in that draft.
Yeah. Then we get into standard, 4 rounds of the standard format. You already know very well, so there's a lot of metagame decisions to be made there. We come back on Friday. We do it all again with draft. But then what about Saturday? That's an interesting one.
Well, you know what? That's the modern format, and this is the format that people are the most I don't want to say worried about, but most, apprehensive about making the right decision. If you watch the 3 Grand Prix, the results that came in from those 3 Grand Prix, there's 192 deck lists available for you to peruse that are less than a week old. So people were scrambling. I'm really excited to see what decks people will arrive at in this wide open modern format.
So if you get to 9-5, 10-4, that might be the record that secures you a place in the top 4 for standard constructed on Sunday. So that's what awaits our field, but who are the field playing for a share of $250,000? 70,000 to the winner. We start with this group here, and these are our masters, if you will. Mid-season master Owen Turtenwald, the Hall of Fame master Luis, Oliver II constructed, Marcio Carvalho, the draft master, and BBD, the Grand Prix master. Who do you want to talk about there?
You know what? We know Owen, we know Luis. I really want to talk about Oliver II. This is someone who had the best constructed record on the Pro Tour. This season, he's still a teenager. It was his first 4 Pro Tours that he's ever played in. He won Rookie of the Year. How is he going to acquit himself on this stage here against such elite competition? I can't wait to see what he does. He doesn't seem phased, though, I can tell you that.
Brian Braun-Duin, the Grand Prix master, he's actually won more than almost anyone else this year because that's what Grand Prix masters do. They beat opponent after opponent after opponent, but he is a clear underdog in this field, and he just wants to get through it, have a great time, a great experience, and then we'll just find out how many great players he got to beat along the way. So those are our 5 masters. Next along, it's the champions. Now, everyone in this next group, from Seth Manfield, the world champion, down to Lucas Blahan, our most recent Pro Tour winner, these are people with hardware, trophy shots on the mantelpiece. BDM, who stands out for you?
I gotta tell you, Kazuyuki Takamura is someone who really stands out to me. I had a chance to talk to him. He said he's here representing for the casual players all around the world.
The what?
The casual players. He is part of a team in Japan called Team Budagoya. Budagoya literally translates to pigsty, which references a tournament venue that they play in every week. And then when you're at the lower tables, you're in the small room that's not as nice.
In the pigsty?
And they call it the pigsty, the Budagoya. And they gathered together to pull themselves together and get themselves out of the pigsty. And he's gotten himself all the way to the World Championship. He's got himself a Pro Tour trophy. I can't wait to see what he does this weekend here in Seattle.
Talking of underdogs, a lot of people think that Niels Norlander is going to struggle this weekend, the Magic Online world champion. I don't see it that way. I think Niels is a super, super good player, and I think sort of the mid-table is sort of the minimum end for him. If you see him competing in Modern for a slot in the top 4, remember, we told you in the preview. Let's move on. Next, we go around the world. It's time to look at our regions. So many great players here. We begin with the gang of 3 from Japan, Yasuoka, Watanabe, Tamada. Then you've got the Europeans, Muller and Larson. Latin America, PVDDR and Saporito. And finally, it's not the lone representative of North America, but the only slot for North America, as it were, because they all got eaten by the others in Reed Duke.
The person I want to talk about here is Yuya Watanabe. Yuya won the first tournament that was ever held. It was called the Players' Championship, but it's part of the World Championship Series. He's the only player to appear in all 5 World Championships. He's just maintained this level of excellence throughout half a decade that has enabled him to play in this tournament year after year after year. And he's someone like Owen Turnerwalt who'll be going into the Hall of Fame when we get to Pro Tour Kaladesh in Hawaii in, I think, about 2 days.
Right. I've certainly got my eye on the 2 Europeans. Of course, I have Martin Muller and Joel Larsen. Now, last year, Magnus Lanto was here. Martin Dang of Denmark was here. Was much more of a Scandinavian squad. This time, just the 2 of them, Denmark and Sweden represented. But I think at least one of those could be back again on Sunday.
Martin Mueller's still an ascendant player.
For sure, absolutely tremendous. That's 3 groups, 1 to go. We're calling our last list the pros, if you will. Now, these aren't necessarily Pro Tour champions. They're not necessarily people who've had amazing seasons. They've just super good for a long time.
I think they have had amazing seasons.
Okay.
They've had seasons of sustained excellence.
That's a great phrase.
Right?
Yeah.
They've done well at the Grand Prix. They've gone deep at the Pro Tours, and they've just put themselves in a position where they're platinum. They're going to be going to every event next year, and they got themselves to World. By the way, Brad Nelson, someone who's also working with that European team.
Right, and it's worth bearing in mind the strength in depth. Brad Nelson and Mike Sigrist here, both players of the year, neither of whom is there a huge buzz around coming into the event. Again, you think, oh, a player of the year, just mid-table. It's an astonishing tournament, and you'll see every twist and turn unfold over the next 5 days. Well, actually 4 days for the World Championship itself, but we're here for 5 because it is not just the World Championship here at PAX. Let's mark your card for the full broadcast schedule. Here are the times you need to know. Tomorrow, 9 a.m., little bit of a lie-in on Friday. The weekend, it's 10 a.m. Then on Monday, Labor Day here in the United States, you get to rest easy on Labor Day because we don't start until 1 p.m. But how does it all divide? Because half our schedule is World Championship, but then we've got so much to bring you from Kaladesh as well. Let's take a look. Let's start off with Thursday. We'll take a look for you. There we are, BDM.
Well, we're going to start off with the booster draft. We're going to watch 8 players. Doesn't matter what, you could just pick any 8, and it's going to be an amazing table. We're going to watch 2 of those players draft, and then we're going to watch 3 rounds of that draft play out, and then we're going to move on to standard, and we're going to watch 4 rounds of standard. And remember, standard is the format that the top 4 is going to be in, so those rounds will be really important and really informative about matchups.
Now on Friday, there's so much great stuff here, but if you get one appointment to view, 11 a.m. Pacific on Friday, it is the grand unveiling of Kaladesh. We've seen the rehearsals back down there on the Paramount stage. It is a nuts show. Do not miss that at 11 a.m. on Friday. But then, of course, BDM, we get back to World Championship action.
Yeah, absolutely. In the afternoon, we are going to pick up again with our booster draft format. And so we're going to do another 3 rounds of draft, and that's going to be really, sort of pulling out, where players are going to have an opportunity to pull away from the field as we head into our last leg.
Let's swoosh our way into the weekend and get you to Saturday. What a lineup we've got there. We begin World Championship action.
Well, this is the home stretch of the Swiss rounds here, and it's going to be modern constructed. We're going to have 4 rounds of that, and that is going to be really where we finalize our top 4.
Yep. Then through the evening, so much great stuff. If you want to know what Whose Line Is It Anyway looks like for Magic, well, hang out for this improv show. The PAX invents the card.
Wait, that's very interesting to me.
It's going to be pretty cool. Got lots of fun stuff there. Let's get to Sunday. Now that's the big day for the big guns in the World Championship BDM. We kick off with Kaladesh with the pros. Some preview cards coming there, but then.
Yeah, this is what we've been waiting for. This is what these players have been waiting for all year long, to crown the world champion of Magic. It was Seth Manfield. He holds that title for just a few more hours until we go into this run, and then it's going to be standard constructed, and we're going to go semifinal, into the finals, and we are going to crown a champion. And if you watched it last year, you know what an amazing, exhilarating, emotional moment that can be. It's the one moment in the season where a player can just actually let loose.
And then on Monday, with a world champion crowned, $250,000 given away, we still got more to show you. We've got Deck Building 101, we've got the Blogger Tog Live, we've got the Inventor's Spell Slinging Showdown. That is crazy. Someone seriously insane came up with that thing. And then the closing program, bringing it all together, still with more surprises to come. It is going to be an amazing 5 days. We get paid to hype Magic for you. We don't need to this time, because it will just be incredible. Brian David-Marshall, do you have a winner yet in your mind?
You know, it is going to be very hard for me to pick against Owen Turtenwald. I don't know that, I mean, anybody here could win this event, but nobody has put in as much work as Owen and is as focused on it as Owen. And I think he has whatever minuscule edge you can have in this field, I believe it goes to Owen.
Seth Manfield, Owen Turtenwald, collision course on Sunday.
You know, they haven't played each other since the finals of the World Championship.
Sunday
they have not played each other at all since that finals.
Sunday seems like a good time to bring them back. Be with us every step of the Kaladesh Way and the World Championship Way right here in the Paramount Theater from downtown Seattle. BDM, Rich, saying bye.
Yeah.